Aaliyah Boston, get that dough. Secure the bag by any means necessary. Aaliyah Boston signs a record-breaking deal, and Caitlin Clark sends a message. When it's time for me to eat, don't be looking for me to take no shorts, no
Look at that
cake.
energy. Aaliyah Boston has just signed the biggest contract in WNBA history. Caitlin Clark didn't just react with congratulations, her response felt like a statement. When a teammate locks in a 4-year, $6.3 million deal that breaks league records, it's more than just good news. It shows the whole market is changing in real time. And if you're Caitlin Clark, you're now aware that when your own deal comes up, the standards and expectations have already gone up.
Aaliyah Boston is locked in for the foreseeable future. Shams broke the news. Hey, WNBA reporters that was doing all that complaining, y'all slipping on y'all pimping. I'm just saying. Shams is on it. Shams is breaking it. Y'all better be careful, because once Shams come around, y'all definitely ain't gonna be breaking no big stories. But anywho, here he said, Indiana Fever, 3-time WNBA All-Star Aaliyah Boston is signing a 4-year, $6.3 million contract extension with the franchise, giving her the richest total salary in league
Shams
history.
Charania broke this story, and that detail actually matters. It wasn't Alexa Philippou, Kendra Andrews, or any of the usual WNBA beat reporters who often talk about access and recognition. Instead, an NBA insider like Shams is the one reporting the biggest WNBA contract news. That shows how much attention the league is starting to get from outside its usual coverage circle. The numbers are historic. She's set to earn $1 million for the 2025 season, and then 20% of the salary cap from 2027 to 2029. Zach Miller from WME Basketball negotiated the deal, and it was structured to rise with the league's growth.
The Indiana Fever issued a statement. Let's take a look. It says Aaliyah Boston's been a foundational piece of the Indiana Fever since she was drafted here in 2023. We're thrilled to be able to reward her with this new contract and make history, and most importantly, lock her in as a cornerstone of the Fever for years to come. And that was from GM Amber Cox. Okay, so Aaliyah Boston is going
Indiana
to be
Fever GM Amber Cox called Aaliyah Boston a foundational piece and a cornerstone of the franchise for years to come. What stands out in that statement is what wasn't said. There was no mention of Kelsey Mitchell and no reference to building around a group of stars. It was focused on Aaliyah Boston alone and, indirectly, Caitlin Clark. That suggests a clear direction, a two-player foundation. Everyone else seems more flexible in comparison. Lexi Hull is still under contract, Nalissa Smith is on a rookie deal, and Monique Billings brings depth to the roster, but long-term investment appears reserved for just 2 key players. The Fever look less like they're building a deep, permanent core and more like they're shaping the entire roster around a specific duo, even if that means other players might eventually move on to make it work.
Just let y'all know that this is Kelsey Mitchell's last year. This is Kelsey's last year, and some of y'all are going to be butthurt about it. It is what it is. This is her last season with the Indiana Fever. It just is what it is, okay? Now we have Caitlin Clark here, okay, and she responded to the news.
And this is where it becomes personal for Kelsey Mitchell. She's been with Indiana since 2018 and averaged 17 points per game last season. Through years of losing basketball, she's been the steady scoring option, the player the team could always rely on. Now she's watching the franchise commit long-term to a rookie and a second-year star while her own contract is set to expire after this season. The signs are pretty clear. It looks like her time in Indiana could be coming to an end, not because she hasn't performed, and not because she isn't talented, but because the Fever are choosing to build their future around Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston. In that kind of system, not everyone can be kept. With limited salary cap space, tough decisions are unavoidable. That's just the business side of the league, especially in a system where the cap still doesn't fully match the value of the players.
Congrats, AB. Okay, so you saw what Asia Wilson got. Okay, Aaliyah Boston goes in and tops that. Okay, please don't place the expectation for Caitlin Clark to take less than Aaliyah Boston did, to take less than Asia Wilson did, because the fact of the matter is she's the reason all of these girls is getting this type of money. That's just what it is. That's just the facts, okay? As far as I'm concerned, they all should be paying her a percentage. They might as well be giving her a percentage. You see what I'm saying? So when Caitlin Clark is up, please respect the floor, respect the handle, okay, and understand that it's time
now
for
let's
her to
talk about what Caitlin Clark actually said. Absolutely. Congrats, AB. It was short, simple, and publicly supportive. But the meaning behind it changes when you look at the bigger picture. Aaliyah Wilson signed her Supermax extension in September 2024, which at the time was the richest contract in WNBA history. Just a few months later, Aaliyah Boston's deal surpassed it. And meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is still on a rookie-scale contract, around $76,000 this season while filling arenas and driving massive revenue for the league.
Oh, she's getting this off the court. Oh, she's getting that don't got nothing to do with nothing. She needs to be paid in full. She don't need to be taking no shorts or none of that. She needs to be paid in full. And it's as simple as that. I don't want to hear all this, oh, she need to do a franchise hookup or do this or do that. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Everybody else is getting paid. It's time for The Reason, because that's her name, Caitlin Clark, a.k.a. The Reason. It's time for The Reason.
Let's be very clear about the economics here. Caitlin Clark isn't the only reason WNBA contracts are rising, but she is a major part of the current revenue surge that's expanding what the league can afford. Aaliyah Boston absolutely deserves her $6.3 million deal. She's an elite center, a three-time All-Star, and one of the best two-way players in the league. At the same time, the timing matters. WNBA attendance in 2024 jumped significantly compared to 2023, and Fever games were regularly drawing over 1 million viewers. The league also secured a $2.2 billion media rights deal over 11 years, negotiated during the period when Caitlin Clark was dominating college basketball and her arrival in the WNBA was highly anticipated.
Here it says Caitlin Clark celebrates Aaliyah Boston's historic deal. Caitlin Clark wasted no time showing love to her Indiana Fever teammate after Aaliyah Boston signed a historic 4-year, $6.3 million contract extension, the largest in WNBA history. Clark took to social media to congratulate her. In a simple but heartfelt post, absolutely congrats, AB. The message quickly went viral with fans praising the strong bond between the two young stars. Boston, a three-time WNBA
Here's where the
All-Star.
tension really starts to show, because a narrative is already forming that Caitlin Clark should take less money to help the team. The idea is that she's already earning enough from endorsements with Nike, Gatorade, State Farm, and Wilson, so she should accept below-market pay to help the Fever build a stronger roster around her. But that argument doesn't really hold up when you look at context. Tom Brady took team-friendly deals in the NFL partly because of a much larger salary cap structure and his overall financial situation. LeBron James has also taken pay cuts at times, but he was still earning tens of millions per year and already had generational wealth secured.
Dominant Biggs secured $1 million for the upcoming season, with her salary rising to 20% of the salary cap from 2027 to 2029. This deal reflects her consistent impact on both ends of the floor and her importance to the Fever's future. Clark's quick and enthusiastic reaction highlights the positive chemistry between the two players. Listen, Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark are going to be the best
The comparison that matters here is between Aaliyah Boston and Jonquil Jones. Both are elite centers, both were former #1 picks, and both impact the game on both ends of the floor. You could easily argue they are two of the best traditional centers in the WNBA right now. Aaliyah Wilson is a slightly different case, more of a power forward who often plays center depending on her team's roster. She has the versatility to switch between roles, while Boston and Jones are more classic 5 players, rim protection, rebounding, and efficient scoring around the basket. That type of player is becoming rarer in modern basketball, which makes them even more valuable.
Or if Stephanie White could just get the hell out of the way, if she could just get the hell out of the way on the offensive end and let them cook, we are going to be looking at one of the most dynamic duos to play the sport of basketball, male or female. I'm telling you. Since Clark's arrival in the league, she and Boston have formed one of the most exciting young duos in women's basketball, blending elite scoring with dominant interior play. Fans and analysts alike reacted positively to the moment, seeing it as a sign of unity and shared ambition within the Fever organization. Many believe this kind of camaraderie will be key as Indiana looks to take the next step and compete for a championship. Okay,
so that's where the real challenge starts for Indiana. They've already committed major money to Aaliyah Boston, and Caitlin Clark is on track for an even bigger extension when the time comes. At the same time, they still need to build a full, competitive roster around both of them. Kelsey Mitchell's future in Indiana now looks uncertain. The team not extending her signals a clear shift in priorities: Boston first and Clark next. That decision alone suggests where the franchise is heading.
This deal is well-deserved. Aaliyah Boston is one of the best centers, not one of the best young centers. She's one of the best centers in the league. I think Aaliyah Boston and Jonquil Jones are the two best centers in the league. I think A'ja Wilson will be a 4. Okay, so if you count A'ja Wilson as a power forward, Aaliyah Boston and Jonquil Jones are the two best centers in the entire WNBA. Aaliyah Boston is young. She's talented. She is going to be a beast for years to come. All we got to do is get her.
That's where the real challenge starts for Indiana. They've already committed major money to Aaliyah Boston, and Caitlin Clark is on track for an even bigger extension when the time comes. At the same time, they still need to build a full, competitive roster around both of them. Kelsey Mitchell's future in Indiana now looks uncertain. The team not extending her signals a clear shift in priorities: Boston first and Clark next. That decision alone suggests where the franchise is heading.
Boston to not be in foul trouble? Oh, we good to go. We good to go. We could look, it's party time. It's party time. If Stephanie White can get the hell out of the way and Aaliyah Boston can stay out of foul trouble, Caitlin Clark is going to destroy. Because if they try blitzing Caitlin Clark out of that ball screen and Aaliyah Boston do that short roll, oh man, she's gonna be dominant in that. We've already seen her be dominant in it. So I'm glad this deal is done. Okay. And this is just what it is. Let's be real here, guys. Long term, the Indiana Fever have not tied themselves to many
Now
people.
look at the roster flexibility Indiana has created, or more accurately, the lack of it. While they've kept some short-term options open, they've also committed themselves to a very specific direction built around long-term pieces like Aaliyah Boston, Caitlin Clark, Lexi Hull, and Monique Billings. Then you have younger or cheaper roster spots like Darian Harmon and Raven Johnson, but beyond that, a lot of the roster is either on expiring contracts or short-term deals. That includes Kelsey Mitchell, Temi Fagbenell, Sophie Cunningham if she's brought back, and any other free agent additions.
Long term, it's Aaliyah Boston, Caitlin Clark, Lexi Hall, Monique Billings, and you got Michaela Timpson on that rookie deal, and you got Raven Johnson on a rookie deal. They have not committed long-term to Sophie Cunningham. They're not committed long-term to Maisha Hines-Allen. They're not committed long-term to Dantas. Nobody. So they are giving themselves, a level of flexibility to be able to maneuver, to add, to move pieces as they see fit. Now, do I trust this front office to bring in the right people? No. Do I trust that they can manage the cap and all that? No, I don't believe in Amber Cox, Kelly Crosscroft, and Stephanie White. I just don't. But Caitlin Clark is letting it be known, hey, I'm not hating. Congratulations. Get your bag. But when it's time for me to come up, I'm breaking the record. You best believe that. Get down in the comments. Let me know what you
Aaliyah
think.
Boston's contract isn't just about her; affects the entire WNBA market. Aya Wilson's Supermax deal used to be the top level, but now Boston has pushed that ceiling even higher. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is still on a rookie contract worth about $76,000 while bringing in huge attention and revenue for the league. Because of that, some people think Clark should take less money since she already earns a lot from endorsements. But that argument doesn't really make sense. Her off-court money doesn't replace her on-court value. In fact, it shows how big her impact is and why she should be paid fairly by her team. Boston absolutely deserves her $6.3 million extension. She's an elite player and a key part of Indiana's future. But when Clark becomes eligible for her extension, many expect her number to be even higher, because her impact on the league is even larger. The Fever are clearly building around Clark and Boston and making other players more replaceable. That creates a big risk, though, because they still need the right roster and coaching system to succeed. If the front office and coaching staff can't build properly around them, even 2 stars won't be enough.